So you guys, I'm really hesitant to enter this segment of the show, but you guys were talking to me about Magic the Gathering earlier.
The best. The best. Yeah, I recently started playing. I took probably at least a 15-year, 40, 20. I spent a long time not playing Magic the Gathering. But when I was much younger, I used to play it all the time. I had one of those like white boxes, one of those white rectangular boxes with your cards organized according to color. It was so fun. I would play it all the time. I was so deeply addicted to it. It mixes so well with LSD and any kind of like, it does. It's like a very psychedelic game. It's really fun and dark, evil. It's an evil game. You feel like, am I wrong that it seems evil when you play it?
It seemed evil.
It makes you fight with your dearest friend. You think about So
a lot of games are like that. Though.
Like catchphrase. I feel that way about catchphrase.
Definitely.
I called my mom the C word playing catchphrase.
No, Magic. I think that
I seriously did. They came to visit LA and they had just met Aaron for the first time, and Aaron's like, "Let's play catchphrase." And I'm like getting my mom to try to say a word, and I'm like, "No, it's a yellow guy. He eats dots. He's got a mouth. He lives in a world that's named after him. It's from the '80s. I played Pikachu." And then it beeps, and I was like, "You fucking car!" Like I call, and then just silence over the room, and then my mom was like, "Ah." Like, Aaron was like, I don't know what I'm experiencing. And my mom was like, he's just frustrated.
No, I went to high school and junior high school in the Bible Belt. So, like, I got to have, like, some serious Christian indoctrination. And there's something fun when you're playing Magic where it does feel like if there were Satanists in the world and they wanted to infect the world with some dark thing, it would be Magic the Gathering. It's fun to play and imagine you're falling into the spell of some diabolic thing, but it really is like, it's like when you listen to Burzum. Have you ever listened to Burzum? You know who Burzum is? He's like, what's cool about Burzum is...
I think that's the street that my Uber driver thought he was...
No, Burzum, Norwegian death metal. He really killed people. He's like not just like heavy metal. He's actually a murderer. Like in the same way that like when you're listening to NWA, you get to fantasize like they really kill people. Like these are murderers rapping. Burzum is like a Norwegian death metal artist who I think... help me out here. Didn't he?
I have no idea.
Thank you. He killed his fucking drummer.
What?
That's a true musician. Like when you're listening to him, you're like, this is an actual rock and roll master.
So when you buy his second CD, it's just there's no drums and it's just these brilliant songs that are the insight into a man who needed to work alone. I needed space. Sorry if the rhythm isn't kept. I needed space. The constant banging drove me nuts.
Are you aware of how cool Norwegian death metal is? Do you know about this at all?
Well, I know. Is
black metal? Do you know anything about it?
When I was 15, I was really into this band Manowar. Is that? I don't know what country they're from, but they were like fucking The cool thing about, I mean, I'm sure Norway. Yeah, there was this thing. I guess it's still a thing. Actually the Scorpions were.
No, not the Scorpions.
English was their second language, right?
These were Satanists who were not just like content with being like Satanists. They were roaming through Europe, setting churches on fire. Like they were.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to clarify. I was drawing a larger point, a cultural point, where it's like America creates this silly thing called that's largely like driven by capitalism, which is like we're heavy metal. We love, and then the songs are like, you're gonna rock. You gotta rock so hard. I don't care if you don't rock hard. Don't talk to me, because I'm gonna cut your head off. And then it gets exported to foreign countries, and it's like this adorable, amazing thing happens where European or East European like heavy metal bands, they're like, they take us at face value. They're like, we heard the importance of metal, and we believe it, and they make metal more important. They're way more metal than any American metal band ever. There's like a million of these bands. That's all I was saying.
Right,
The Scorpions are kind of like that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like it infected Norway somehow, and they became evil. But I don't think that's what happened. I think that a dark energy rose up from the ground and possessed these people. And it's true, they're fucked up, man. The cover of one of their albums is from one of them coming home, and one their guitarist or one of the musicians has blown his brains out in the house, and they're like, oh, this is the next album cover. Let's take a picture of this. And then
that's what I'm talking about.
They took one of the skull fragments from his brain, from his just blasted head, and he would wear it on stage as a necklace when he was playing. Yeah. That's rock and roll, friend.
Well, it's metal. It's metal for sure.
It's pretty dark. Yeah, it's pretty dark. So in the same way, when you're playing Magic the Gathering,
you feel that potential. You feel like if you came home from work and your girlfriend had killed herself, that you might make a new card out of her blood? I haven't played it. I've played apps on the iPad that simulate these games that were being invented when I was a tyke. The reason why I don't get it is because when I was a kid, there was actual role-playing, which was a big deal. You get your graph paper and your pencils, and everything's gritty, and it was the nerds' version of fucking gangsta culture. It was like, you're not supposed to understand it. Fuck, it's supposed to intimidate you. It's supposed to feel dense and impenetrable. If anyone looks over your shoulder while you're drawing something, you're supposed to go like, you psycho. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Because I'm designing a spell. And it's level 3, and it's like, I'm researching dungeons, and the text is so tiny, you can't read it with eyes younger than 15. And it was the heyday. It was like, the internet was barely existent, and I would go to gym class and sit in a corner and close my eyes and meditate about dungeons, and every once in a while a ball would hit me in the head. But it was worth it, because the gym teacher was like, all right, C. Because if I give you an F, then I got to figure out how to fix you. C, get out of here. You're weird. You sit in the corner and get hit in the head with a ball. Maybe that'll be a sport one day. The grittiness. And so the cards, it's like, to me, I'm 41. I'm like, cards? Man, fuck that shit. That's when my little tiny voice comes out. I say, fuck it. You gotta get past it, man. Yeah. You have to, because it's... Well, because since then I've become addicted to iPad games where I'm a waitress waiting tables. You'd think I would be less of a snob about how I spend my time. Here's one thing people don't realize about Magic the Gathering, and the fact that I've said that in my life means that I should move out of the country and become a monk. To Norway. But maybe so. But one thing that's interesting about the game is you can really express yourself through the deck you construct. And the cards that you play, you can really create a deck that is so vicious and cunty and awful that it's actually evil. You can really create evil. I have gotten in the worst fights
of my life with my girlfriend.
But it's expressed through this card beats this card, or this card doesn't. And that's
you picked the cards. You decided that you wanted this deck to slowly remove your opponent's cards, to slowly disintegrate your opponent's hopes, to create bad results that involve argument after argument. You made that thing. You brought that darkness into the world. It's really fun. You can't do that with other games. It's 100 times worse than Monopoly. Any Monopoly fight you've gotten in, it pales. This is it's the Musket versus Hiroshima compared to how awful this game is. It's great.
All right.
I don't think I've ever gotten in a real argument with someone playing Magic.
Then you don't care about Magic. No, you just know the rules. When you don't understand the rules, that's where the fights happen.
I really do. It's a cool game, though.
It's 12 Angry Men when I'm playing, because it's I don't know the rules enough, so it just comes down to am I able to argue well enough that they accept the rules? I've been wrong several times. When you Google it, it's I've been completely wrong about the way it works. But it's a complicated game. You need someone there to mediate the rules, because it is very complicated.
It's tough.